Hello everyone, it's Lynette with Charm Grammy Crochet, and today is Make Along Monday. So welcome to the dining room table where I can spread out my work. And I want to thank all of you that are participating in the hashtag Ugly Christmas 2022 garment make along that Hobie has sponsored me with the yarn, the bag they gave me before, but they sponsored me with my yarn to make my ugly Christmas sweater. And let's see, here's the, upside down, there's the label. This is the yarn I'm using. It is Horizon Christmas, and this is color number 3. Yeah, color number 3. I can't remember the name of it, but it is the one with the bright green. There is a color number 2 that I know Pamela from Pamela's Adoring Crochet is using to make her ugly Christmas sweater. And it is same yarn, just different colorway. That was my second choice. It has gray in it and no bright green. But the bright green was just calling to me. I'm like, oh, I need that bright green in my life. So that is what I bought. So what are we doing? Well, you can make any garment that you want. It could be a hat and glove set, hat, glove, scarf. It needs to be like, people are taking a great deal of time to make a sweater. So, not something you can make in an hour, but, something that's sizable. I chose to make this Horizon cardigan. It's a free pattern on the Hobie website. And it's a simple make. I mean, so far, so good. I think I'm supposed to be done with it by the end of the month. I'm hoping that happens by the end of this month, November. I'm hoping. I think I should be able to do it. My crochet is a little slow because of my arm, so if it's not done, I hope that people understand, but I have been working on it diligently. And so I am not like just rushing off and completing it though, because I want to have it to make videos this month. Now, the crochet along that I am sponsoring, the make along, hashtag Ugly Christmas 2022. If you want to participate in that, you need to send me pictures of you don't need to send me pictures of your progress, but that's fun and I enjoy that. And if I'm getting pictures of your progress, I will post them every week. Anyone that's making, their pictures are being posted. So there's only a couple of pictures this week, maybe 2 or 3 of progress. I had a couple of finished ones last week in last week's video. Mine is not done because I want to talk about the pattern as we go. If you have questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll try to answer them if I know, particularly if I'm that far. But my crochet along for this will be going on through the end of the year, through the end of December. So at the beginning of January, I will pull a winner from everyone who participated. Part of the rules are that you have to include that hashtag so that I can easily find your photos. It will be hashtag 2022. No, I'm sorry, hashtag Ugly Christmas 2022. I need those so that it'll make it easier. So the project is a hexagon, 2 hexagons that you make, and then you join them together eventually. And then you add to your length and your width. So it's very easy to adjust it to your body size. Totally love that. It's granny stitch, so it's pretty brainless as far as that goes. It's, just continuously one row, repeat until you get the size that you need. Now, I am using, as I said, this yarn, which is so soft. And even though it's a 3-weight, it is very squishy. It's squishy in this form, and it's squishy made up as well. Sometimes you find, if they're, you get a yarn and it's not packaged together really tightly, so it feels squishy, caked, or in the skein or whatever. It feels kind of squishy because it's not, tightly packaged, I guess. and then you make it up into something and it's not as squishy. This is still squishy. I love squishy yarn. This will be something that I'll be able to like curl up in, and that's the kind of sweater that I want. I want my sleeves to be baggy. The sweater does have, you know, like a puffy sleeve. I don't want it tight. That's what I want. I want it to be a little oversized here. Like I can do this with it or leave it. I'm debating if I'm going to put the buttons. There are buttons. If you can see them on there. It's kind of a busy shirt, but there are like wooden buttons. And I'm thinking, I'm kind of thinking, I was thinking I wanted to do like Christmas buttons, you know, like Christmas tree, a snowman, a set of candy canes, you know, all down the front. But I think the yarn is so busy, and I'll show you that in a second, that I'm going to need to just do like solid, big solid. And I really don't know if it says, let's see, I haven't looked for buttons yet. It doesn't tell you what size buttons. Oh yeah, 8 20mm buttons. No, wait, 8 buttons, 20 20mm buttons. I don't know how big that is. I will have to get out a yardstick and check that out. Excuse me. So, I have zero clues what that is. But now I'm debating. I really wanted to do the Christmas theme things, but I don't think they'll show up. So I'm thinking I might go with that bright green and see if I can find some big bright green buttons. But let's see what so let me explain. You make this in a hexagon, and okay, here we go. So, I have them pinned together. Well, I'm going to leave them pinned together because I don't want to redo that. So you make the hexagon, and then you fold the hexagon in a manner that makes it look like a sleeve and the body of your sweater. So I can put this on. I hate to do it over my left arm, but it's the way it's going to work out best. I mean, not because it hurts the arm, but because the cast gets things stuck. So now you can understand how it fits. So it goes like this over your left arm or right arm, depending, but I need to talk with my right arm. I talk with my hands, you know. So I wanted it big enough that it would be baggy here. And I think this is just enough that when I gather it with the ribbing at the end, it'll be puffy, particularly as it gets down my arm more. You know, it'll still have a little puff to it. Well, a lot of puff by the time it gets here. So I'm liking that, the sizing of it, very well. Pardon me again. Now, as you can see, let me stand up. I hope I don't make it dark with the windows, you know. So as you can see, like, it doesn't come to here. I have a lot more to go here. And, whoa, yarn ball. And I want it to cover the bum. So I want it to be, like, down to here. So I have a lot more to go, right? But my arm length here, back to the arm, is, I don't want a lot more. I want ribbing here. I want ribbing enough. Now, that does show you ribbing just a little. But I think I really want my sleeve length to pretty much end here because I want to do ribbing and then fold it over. You know what I mean? Maybe 1 or 2 more rows of length here, but I don't need more here. So let me sit down and tell you what's happening. So now if you look at this pattern, if you're doing this pattern, my friends and I were questioning the measurements on here. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. So it gives you all these different sizes in the measurements. And we're thinking there's one called arm depth. And we're thinking it tells you to go under your armpit and measure this, that. We're thinking this needs to be this measurement. it's the measurement, this arm depth measurement, and it's an important measurement for me because I want to make sure that I'm going to have enough armhole. I want it to not be tight, no matter what I have on underneath it. I want this to be a bulky, baggy, bulky sweater. So the arm depth measurement apparently is the nape of your neck down to, if you put your hands here and you're measuring from your third finger to the center of your back, you don't measure, you put a line from your third finger to the middle of your back, and you measure from the nape of your neck to that line where your third finger is, and third finger down, and that gives you the arm depth. It's the depth that's going to be, so on my sweater, this is the back. It's the depth that goes from the top of your neck to under your arm, which tends to be, in my case, it worked out to be like the top of my bra strap across the back. So I'm like, oh, I can figure that out. I don't even need anybody to measure that. So I held it up like this, and then I reached around and with a thing, and I measured where the top of my bra strap goes. And that was, I'm making the 2X size. That was almost 18 inches, which this says for the 2X size, you need an 18-inch arm depth. I'm like, well, no wonder. I kept trying to figure that out. I wasn't getting, I kept, like this depth to go here, like we thought, from under your armpit to the top of your shoulder. That's what we were thinking. Those of us in Zoom, some of us in Zoom. That's a much smaller number. And I couldn't figure out how to manage that. But that's how you do it. That's the actual way of doing this, is to, like, the top of your bra strap and, around your back to the nape of your neck. Go with that measurement. So for me, now this is a 3-weight yarn, again, as I said. This, and then it says measure one side. So this is approximately 18 inches, one side of this hexagon. And that's how you get your arm up. So to the nape of my neck, one side of this is 18 inches. It is 21 rows diagonally. So from the center of my hexie, let me unfold it just to show you. Hold on. I can repin it. I'm using these pins. I don't know. I think I got them from Hobby Lobby, and I think it's probably designed for some kind of stitch marker for knitting. I'm not sure, but it's a safety pin. I never saw anything like it before. It's pointy. It's a safety pin. But it's got that round thing on there. I don't know. I don't remember where I got them from. Maybe somebody sent them to me. My memory is so terrible. If someone sent them to me, thank you very much. I really appreciate them. I like them very much, particularly for this. It's like the perfect thing. So, okay, you've got a hexagon, and it looks like this. And one side of mine is approximately 18 inches. And so when you fold it, you're not folding it in half. You're folding it, well, opposite. I guess I don't know if there is an in half, but you take this one and this long one down here. I think that's the one. Yeah. No. Yeah. And then that gives you, that gives you, so it looks like that. So if you go from the center of the hexagon, now that you've folded it, and you have your arm and your body, and you count from the center diagonally sideways, you can get your rows. Let me tilt you down, because if you probably understand this, and I'm just babbling over nothing, but let's just do it. Ooh, there we go. Okay, can you see that? Let's get it in here. So if you're counting here, yeah, I think you can back it up a little. Oh, nope, not backing up there. More like this. I think it needs to be more like that. Oh, there we go. All right. So if you count from the center, there you go. That's the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 rows. That's how many rows it took me to get the 18 inches on my 3-weight and 3-weight yarn, and I'm using a 6mm hook. And I had a flaw in the yarn and I had to cut it. I was very upset about that. Anyway, so that's that measurement, and it's 21 rows for me to make it as loose as I wanted it to be in the armhole. So now what you do, I really haven't read that far. Let's get you back up here. Okay, so I'm going to join my sides with these little safety pin hooky things. I haven't completely read the directions beyond this. I finished both panels. I have 2 panels. They're the exact same 21 rows. One panel is a little bit tighter crocheted than the other one. My gauge is not always exact, which is why I don't like to do sampler things. But they're very close in size. Hold on. Okay. So let me turn you back a little more towards me. There we are. So let me show you. They're very, very close in size. So this is the other panel. And I'll put them together the same direction. This way they look pretty good, side to side. But the one, or maybe, no, yeah, they're pretty good. They do match. So my tension's been pretty good. But Dina from Homespun Fun was the one that clued me in on the trick of, if you're doing two panels like this, do them equally as you go. So I put on a couple of rows of this one, and then I put a couple of rows onto this one, and that's how I've been doing it each time. Don't stop until, so if I know I'm only going to have a little bit of time, particularly at the beginning when the rows were smaller, I'll do 3 rows here, knowing I have enough time to do 3 rows on panel B. As they've gotten bigger, I am crocheting a little bit faster, but as the panels have gotten bigger, I'm like doing 1 or 2 rows and then 1 or 2 rows in case I run out of time, or my I am, you have to adjust to injury or whatever. So I'm crocheting faster now than I did a week ago, faster than I did the week I hurt my arm when I couldn't hardly crochet at all. But it is getting faster, but I'm positioning myself different, and my shoulder gets tired. I'm going faster, but I'm using my body a little bit differently to adjust for the lack of being able to use my arm properly. And I don't know. I don't know if it's not, I don't think it's like affecting my gauge as much as I thought it was going to, but my shoulder gets tired, where I never had a problem with my arms getting tired before, but the shoulder is getting tired. So I'm obviously holding it in a different, position. So after a few rows, I need to like rest it for a minute, because I don't want to, pull a muscle or make it where I can't crochet. That would be horrible, right? And it's not bad, but I don't want to make it that way. So the next thing that I know, since I don't want to do any more I don't want it to get any bigger here. So now I'm going to keep this folded, and where my pins are is going to be the top. And I haven't read, I think if I did read, I don't remember. I think they have you slip stitch to join. I'm not going to do that. At least that's not my plan right now. My plan right now is to do a granny join, just like I would do a continuous granny square join. And I don't want to cut my yarn, but I think I'm going to have to, or add a new row, a new cake. But I really don't want to cut the yarn, just because it would be cool not to cut the yarn, but I think I'm going to have to. I want to do like one row of continuous, just granny square, where you, I would start here. I think I would start here, because I'd be crocheting it this way, and do one row around the sleeve, and come, when I get back to the point, after I go one row around the sleeve, then continue that all the way across to join it at the top. And then I can go from the top down just one side. So then you'll go down like the front, across the bottom, around the bottom, so back up the top, and then turn and come back the other way. Down the back, across the bottom, around and up the front, turn. And so then you're adding width to your front and your back, and length to your bottom, but you're not touching your arms. So I think I'm going to have to cut my yarn to do that. But that's, I mean, it's okay. I can't go back there anyway. I can't start in the middle. It would never work out to do that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'll let you know how that works out in the next video, because I don't want to go any more on this part, but I'll have it joined, and then I can just continuously go around and around. And if it works out, I'll do that on the other side as well. Excuse me. And then when it's time to add to the ribbing here, add the ribbing, maybe add another row, it'll just be the 2 armholes left to do. And whatever trim you do there, I don't know. I didn't get that far. But then you just continue to go around the front and the bottom and the back, and then the back, the bottom, and the front, until you have either of those, as long as you want it. When it meets you the way you want it to meet in the center, back and front, then you would just add more to the length if you need the length. Join the 2 and then add more to the length if you need more length, or add continuous. If you need it to be wider than long, then at some point you're going to need to, I'm going to say, stop adding at the length and just add at the sides. You'll have to adjust that to your own body size. But I think that's going to be my next step. I'm going to try the armhole around the top at the join, and then go around just the sides and the bottom, and see how that works out for me. Because once you get the width around your body right, I don't care how long. I want it to be longer versus shorter. So once I get the body size right and get the back joined, then I can just go back and forth across the bottom for as long as I want it to be. If I want it to be duster length or whatever. I don't, but I do want it long enough to cover my bum, which might be the same width and length. Who knows? So that's where we stand with the crochet along today. My Monday make along. Hashtag ugly Christmas 2022. Thanks to all who are participating. There are, several podcasters that are participating. I will link the ones that I know of. I will put a mention, and you just click that little @ with their name, and it'll take you to their channel. Not specifically one of the videos that they talk about this, but their channel. Or you can do the hashtag in the YouTube search thing, hashtag ugly Christmas 2022, and if they've hashtagged, you'll see what they're making as well. So that's just a shout out to everyone that is also doing this, so you can see what they're making. I do have a couple of pictures inserted at the end, so please look at those. And again, thanks so much for joining me here in the dining room today and following along with my Ugly Christmas 2022, sponsored by Hobie. The giveaway that I am doing is not sponsored by Hobie. Hobie only sponsored the yarn for me. And the rest is on me. And I hope you're having fun with it. I sure am. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.